Monday, choo choo, midterm Mondays.
There it is, you guys. And that is our favorite song from Don De La Cruz. He actually just created a connection with Sony Record. He's actually going to be recording that with freaking Tupac. I mean, the fake Tupac, the one that's like on assignment right now in Belize.
One Pac.
Yeah, there you
Oh,
go.
in Belize. Yeah, he's in Belize.
He's in Belize right now. I'm pretty sure he's hanging out with Biggie out there right now. It's just what I heard, guys. All right. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but that's just what I was reading on the Inquirer. You guys remember that magazine? The Inquirer? You remember that?
Is that still around?
Do you remember, like, I remember being a kid going into the grocery store with my mom, and I'd grab that magazine and it'd be like a picture of like a, I remember it'd be like it's like Loch Ness Monster found
Yep.
in a city in California, and you open it up and it's like a picture that was like the most blurry thing you've ever seen, or it's like, dude,
You know what's
Bigfoot spotted in Dunn's backyard, and it'd be like
seriously
blurry as hell. Look, done like this. It'd be like a guy. You could tell it's a dude who's like this.
You know what's crazy? They have that. That's still active. Because my question was like, is that magazine still around? That culture is still around. Like all of our social
that
media.
culture is literally living at its highest capabilities right now. Like that was like, that didn't even know it was what was going to hit it, and the internet showed up, bro. And that's like basically the Empire on steroids. But we're not going to be talking about conspiracy theories today, because I know Dunn loves those. But what we are going to be talking about, and what we are going to
steroids.
Steroids. Oh. We're not talking about steroids either. We're taking questions from you guys that are actually in our private Facebook group. Every single day, there's literally like 20 people that write questions on there. I answer them, Dunn answers them, people in our community answer them. So we're super excited to talk about those answers. But also, if you guys have any questions and you're here on this call today, which will be about half an hour or so, maybe even a little bit longer, in the chat box, write something out to us. If you guys are watching us right now on Facebook or on YouTube, say hi in the chat box. I always love to know who's here and making sure people watch this. So right now I'm actually watching this, and it looks like people are on here, which is great. Yeah, Dunn, tell us what we got going on this week, man. What's happening?
Man, this week, I mean, if I'm being honest with you, like every day's just been peeling away on my speak. What do you call it? Do you call it a speech? My speaking session for the Midterm Rental Summit, TED Talk.
Yeah,
a TED Talk. So I've been working on my TED Talk, trying to put together. It's so weird saying that. Putting it together for the folks that's coming. You know, make sure that I leave them with gems and some deep insights, so they could feel prepared and empowered in the MTR space.
Yeah, dude, I love it, man. So you're getting ready to go to do a speech. What does it feel like to get on stage and to speak like this, man? Like, do you feel nervous about it? Are you excited about it? What kind of energy you have going into this?
I'll tell you, last year I was scared. I was nervous. I wasn't sleeping. I think this year around I'm more relaxed, because I found the impact that it had, and not just me, just being on stage and sharing, teaching folks, the impact it had. So I think this year that's what I'm more aligned to, just making sure that I continue that impact and make sure I leave folks with something to walk away with. I wouldn't say I'm nervous. I just want to make sure that I hit the right points for the attendees.
Yeah, dude, I love that, man. I actually feel nervous always getting on stage. I don't know if I ever told you guys this before, but I'm a mega introvert by nature. And I hate labeling myself that. In fact, I stopped even calling myself that, because I feel like anytime you put a label on something, you're like living in this box. And if you guys watch my screen right now, I'm like doing this little box. Like, I don't want to be in that. And I've like done that a lot in my life, and I've watched other people do it. And like, there's no reason for us to be in a box. But anyway, getting on stages is scary for me, but you know what? It's not about me. These summits that I put together, we don't make any money from it. In fact, every year my accountant's like, why do you keep doing these? It's not about me, dude. Like, I am doing this for our community, for the people that are out there, for the people that are building businesses. Like, we are literally having a woman named Christine who's built $1 million business in like 11 months. And it's crazy to watch these super high achievers that were just literally leaving their W-2 jobs or getting ready to do that. And it's empowering, man. It's powerful to watch. So I'm excited to have people come to the summit. The things that we talk about here, give you guys the, ammunition, the inspiration, the know-how to go out and do these things. But yeah, meet us out in San Diego, April 27th through the 29th. For those of you that are watching this, if you send me a note or an email at info@airventurehosting.com, info@airventurehosting.com, I'll give you a massive discount on what we have for tickets right now. So there's not very many left. That's the other reason why I'm bringing this up. There's not many tickets left. So midtermrentalsummit.com, or head over to the freaking, or send me an email at, what was it again? Info at airventurehosting.com, and it'll hook you guys up. So awesome. We got a bunch of people on this call today. We're going to go ahead and start answering the questions. We'd love to see you guys at the summit. I'm actually going to share my screen right now, done, because there's some photos or some questions that are coming in. This is from Joseph. What's up, Joseph? He's got a question here, Don. I'm going to read it to you, and maybe you will start off with the answering here. When you are trying to connect midterm rental leads with others in the Facebook group, do you sign a joint venture agreement to get paid for the referral? Can you tell everybody what a midterm rental lead is first, done, so that everybody can get an understanding of it, and we'll go into the JV part of it?
Yeah, so for the newer folks, you know, to thrive in the midterm rental space, you got to have leads. You got to be connected with other, not just insurance, but you got construction crews, film crews. You just mentioned earlier, Christine, she's well connected with Amazon. So what happens is when you get connected with these companies, you're going to have influx of leads coming in, these claims coming in. Let's just say insurance claims will stay in that realm. Now, you want to continue nurturing that relationship, showing that you could provide value to your best friend, relocation specialist. And if you have no homes or you can't connect those claims, that relationship will, fall apart. So what most folks do is connect with other operators in our group, in our private group, in the public community, and they refer, they share leads in other markets as well. So they can continue that relationship with that business, help out a landlord that's vacant, and then make a little referral fee in the beginning, in the middle.
Yep, totally agree. Are you signing a JV agreement? That's the question that was asked.
Yeah, if I'm being honest with you, when I first started doing this, and it was just $100, $200 referral fees, I would make them sign an agreement that, you promise to pay me my referral fee. And then as I moved along, I found that I'd rather do it off of a handshake. And I know a lot of people will, or online handshake, phone call handshake. I know a lot of people thinks that's crazy, but if the landlord doesn't end up paying me, that makes my job easier, knowing that I'm not going to work with that landlord anymore. If anything, a lot of folks won't be working with that landlord anymore, right? Those slumlords. Because I know at the end of the day, my relationship is still being nurtured. They got value. My agent got value. I didn't get that margin of $500, $300 referral fee, whatever it is. That's fine with me. But that's different depending on the person, right? There's some of us folks who just lost our job and we're making our cash flow, our income to live off these referral fees. I've seen it a lot. Ruben is one of them, right? He's made a lot of money off of this. And I think that makes it easier for me when I don't have someone sign an agreement and it's kind of good faith type of deal.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I do not do that, and I would never actually do that. So I'm not technically with you on that. I don't operate on good faith. I'm a business owner, and I think you have to be very, very thoughtful as a business owner of who you're getting in business with, who you're connecting with. And at the end of the day, you have to have legal binding contracts that are going to actually break down exactly what you're doing, because not everybody's going to be ethical. Not everybody's going to be, operational in the way that you need them to be. Can you hang on one second? Hang on a sec.
Well, I love it, the fact that Jesse runs it with a contract, and I think that's the right way of doing it. For me, I like to almost see how landlords operate, especially in our private group. It's much easier to share leads that way because we're all in the same group, right? Once you start tapping into the public, that's when it gets sticky because you don't know who you're working with.
Got you. Yeah, so you should have reframed that. But yeah, so I personally always do any type of legal agreement. You have to. Those are legal binding contracts. You guys, I've been in business enough to get sued from people that I thought were my best friends in business. Like, things didn't work out. Not everything's going to work the way it was or it has, and people change. And anytime there's money involved, you're gonna see somebody that you've never seen before. And what I'm trying to say is, it doesn't matter if you've been friends with them for 100 years. Somebody new that I'm meeting on the internet that I'm sharing a property with, I have to make sure I have a legal binding contract. So for me personally, whether it's anybody in my private group or anybody in the Facebook group, like, I'm 100% putting a JV contract together. Talk to your attorneys, because every state's going to have something completely different. So if you are lead sharing and you are making money, you want to make sure that the margins are actually going to work. But second off, you got to protect your own ass. We got to probably create a little saying. What is that? Protect. Isn't there a thing for that? It's like cover your own ass.
Pass?
Cover
No.
your. What is that?
Abbreviation.
I don't know.
I don't know. We got to chat GPT it.
But yeah, cover your own ass. Like always do that, you guys. Anytime you're doing any type of deals, it doesn't matter. You have to make sure that you're extremely thoughtful on this. Again, the way that Dunn operates and the way that I operate might not be the same. You guys are on the same boat with that. But again, at the end of the day, you're operating at a business standpoint. And you can't trust the other people. It doesn't matter if you know your buddies and your homies and you got to put a legal binding contract together. That's exactly how you want to make sure that you're operating. So who asked this question? Joseph, talk to your attorney, dude. Tell him what you're doing. Tell them how you're passing leads together. Tell them how there's money exchanged, and make sure that they understand what that looks like so that they can put together an agreement or draft that's going to make sense for you. And it's also going to protect you if somebody doesn't pay rent or mortgage or whatever it is, or if somebody doesn't leave that house. What if you have a guest that stays from a temporary housing company and their 3 months is up and they decide not to leave? ALE's not going to pay you for that. What's going to happen at that point? So you have to make sure that you get an agreement that covers the what if scenarios, the potential possibilities. Like you have to make sure you're covering yourself that way. So Dunn, let's get you with some drafts, bro.
I love that. Real quick, before we move off of that, you mentioned make sure you check with, you're operating with the right contract in the right states. What do I mean by that? Because I see a lot of folks sharing contracts in the public group, and I feel like that might be overlooked. Like, oh, great, Jesse gave me a contract, and I'm just going to literally cut it, copy and paste. But what if it doesn't work for your state? It doesn't follow landlord-tenant laws. So if you are to get someone else's contract, use it as an outline, like a goal of what you're trying to accomplish, and then share that, like what Jesse said, with an attorney. All righty. Let's see what else we got. Right. Jesse, you're on mute.
I know.
Yo, what's pizza?
Yo, what's pizza? I know, you guys see that? I got to freaking pay this guy pizza. Rafa, what's up, dude? Rafa's hanging out with us today. What's up, man? All right, cool. I got another question. This is from Jamie. All right, Jamie, I'm going to share this with you right now. I'm watching for this for the first time. My name is Jamie. I have a house that I own that I want to make a midterm rental. I'm looking for direction, recommendations, things like that. My name is Jamie. First off, Jamie, that's an awesome name. I love that name. And number two, what's the number two, Don?
Thanks for being here.
She's a homeowner. Freaking awesome. Oh. You're already up there. Yeah, dude, I always get super excited anytime anybody owns anything, because it's like, that's always the dream, right? The American dream, to own stuff. But it's super empowering, Jamie. So congratulations on buying your property. Now you got to figure out what the hell to do with it. So that's another thing. Explore the different, this is my suggestion for you. Find what you actually want to do. So whether that's midterm, because it's gonna contain and take a ton of industry knowledge. You're going to have to know your market. You're going to have to be able to do outbound phone calls. You're going to have to connect with people. You're going to want to build a business. You're going to go on, and then I actually encourage you to go on YouTube and just type in midterm rentals and go watch other people's content, because what you're going to get is that they're super basic in the sense that they're just listing on platforms. They're telling you how to adjust rates. They're telling you how an individual is going to stay. That's cool if you want to do that. But if you want to actually create a business where you're like going after companies, you're being very thoughtful about who I'm going to be attracting, the type of guests that I want to have. I want to create relationships that are going to last a long time. That is a relationship-based, business-to-business relationship. So I'd encourage you, Jamie, to be thoughtful. Like, what do you actually want to do? Would you want a short-term rent? Do you want to have a business that you just pop up on a platform and hope to get booked? Or do you want to actually create something tangible that is an actual business, that's treated like a business? Those are all different things. So I'd encourage you to be super thoughtful, like find out what you want to do. If midterm is where you're leaning on, you're in the right place right now. We're talking about these things, you're going to start to understand them different. You're going to start to understand the nuances of the space. There is a ton of stuff on my YouTube channel. Go back and watch it. In fact, it's like a little university. I always tell people, if you just go watch a couple hours of my YouTube content, I promise you're going to have a really good picture of what you're going to want to do. But I would encourage you to go do that. Do that first. Get to know what you're going to do. Dunn, do you have any other thoughts on this? She wants to take her midterm rental. Do you want to talk about like actual steps she could take right now?
Lead gen is always going to be my answer. That's the first thing.
She's brand new. Yeah. So let's talk about what lead gen is.
Yeah. You're going to want to identify who your potential clients can be. Right? Is there a hospital down the street? Right? Are you in a tech city? So you can curate your property that will serve them versus, You don't want to just start designing it because that's how we feel, that's what we like, we're artsy fartsy, but then we're veering away from the target clientele that's in the market. What happens if we're construction heavy in that market, right? Construction crews traveling in and out. And we are going to want to be mindful on the design that it'll make sense for the client.
Yeah, totally. 100%. Nikki, Jamie, my follow-up question for you would be, what market are you in? If you want to put that in the chat box, that'd be helpful. We can start to talk about that. But that's what I would do first. Like, it's one thing to see something. It's another to start to invest in it. I love being excited about stuff. It's like my favorite thing to do, actually, and excited about everything because I'm pretty sure I have ADHD. So you're excited about this right now? Go deep dive into like what this actually takes to build this business. And then you're going to realize like it takes a little bit of work, but that's where we're here to help you. And you're showing up, which is already like, it's already freaking awesome that you're doing that. So super cool. But anyway, yeah, watch some of the stuff and then come back with us. Nikki says to you, Dunn, I'm going to put this on the stream. This is good. Dunn, you're a good person believing the best in people. I love
Nikki, you're the best.
Nikki's given Dunn some until Dunn gets into a lawsuit because somebody doesn't want to leave. We're gonna say that right now. But again, I believe Dunn is a good person too.
Hey, Nikki, I'm calling you out live right now. Jesse, Nikki is the next one up. I'm telling you, she's on it. She Nikki, is on it. Her and her husband are on it.
I love it. Nikki, you got some big praise here, big props happening on that end from Dunn. All right, cool. I'm going to go ahead and jump into Jamie's. Actually, this is not Jamie's question. This is Nikki again. She's got another question. So I just shared it on the screen. Dunn, can you see this?
Yeah, Ailey is asking me to answer the following question. Are you the owner, listing agent, or property management rep? Please choose one. If I'm not any of these, what's the best way to communicate what I'm doing? Need to make sure we're being consistent, but we're just unsure how this needs to be presented. Do we just leave it at something simple like we've got approval from the owner to have the unit filed by insurance claims, medical professionals, digital nomads? I got you. A couple questions here, Nikki, for you is what type of relationship do you have with this agent? Can you just have a regular conversation with them, call them up and let them know your situation? Or is this kind of like one of those one-off claims that you're helping with? Another thing is you want to be transparent with them. We don't want to position ourselves as a property manager when we're not, right? Because there's some legalities that ties into that. Mm-hmm. So I think just straight up asking if the relationship, if you have connection with the agent, just ask them, like, do you want me to fill this out as this? Because these are the only options. I don't understand if it's a multiple choice question or if it's fill in the blank, Nikki. So there's some few things here. For sure, you don't want to put property management unless you are a property manager. Listing agent unless you're a realtor, right? So those are the two things I'm kind of concerned about. Owner, obviously, we're not the owner.
Yeah. I personally would be as transparent as possible. Working with these companies, I just know that they don't necessarily always like working with a third-party person. What I mean by like you're a lead connector, you're doing these kinds of things, but I do think it's important to talk to them about what you're doing. Yeah, I don't know if I'd put a property manager unless you're actually connected to a brokerage. I don't know what state you're in either, so you got to be very thoughtful on that. And then contract number 2 is signed with you or the owner as what's that part right there? That question. I want to make sure we get that one done.
Oh yes.
Contract number 1 is signed with the agreement between you and the guest. Contract 2 is signed with you and the owner. Oh shit, my phone's going off. Do you see that there, Dunn? I just want to make sure.
No, I don't see that part.
There's a question that says, "Are you looking on that chat box, on the actual chat box?"
Yeah.
Okay. It says, yeah, I think that was another question. Actually, it was Nikki. So okay, we'll go back to that one. So Nikki, did we get you on that? Are we good? She's in Los Angeles. Okay, cool. Yeah, you got to be very careful in California for saying property management. So we want to be very thoughtful on that. I probably would not say that at all. I say co-hosting or lead connector. I would do that, or you can just say you have a consulting connection business. That's another thing that I would do rather than saying anything else outside of that. Again, you just don't want to put yourself in a legal situation where you're calling yourself a property manager without a brokerage license. I know that in California right now, there's the Department of Real Estate is actually looking for co-hosts that are calling themselves property management companies. So be very, very thoughtful on that. And you can be fined for that, just FYI. Co-hosting is a totally different thing. You're managing a property for somebody else. You're not taking income. It's going directly to the owner, and then you're getting a piece of the percentage on there. So just know about the two. They're two separate, completely different things. But anyway, I think we got you right there. Jamie says she's a teacher and ready to get out of the profession. I do not blame you, Jamie. I would love to help you get out of that salary position there.
Yeah.
Cash. I always say this: make sure that you put a plan together. You don't just leave it abruptly. I did that. It was one of the dumbest things I could have done. I wish that I wouldn't have done it, but obviously I wouldn't be here talking to you guys if I didn't. But I just wish I would have planned a little bit more. Done. I don't know if you had that too, but I just left too soon. I didn't actually put a plan together. In fact, I couldn't buy real estate for a long time. Rafa's on this call. He was actually one of the people that was like encouraging me to leave my job. He was just like, do it, dude, just do it. Because I kept going to him being like, man, I don't know if I should do this or not. I don't know if I should do it. I don't know if I should make the jump. And Rafa's just like, quit being a wuss, dude, just do it. And this is why you need to have friends that are entrepreneurs that are doing the thing that you want to do, because he was the guy doing the thing. He didn't have a W-2 job. He was already doing it. I felt comfortable piggybacking off of somebody that's already been there and done that. And I think that's important to make sure that you're in these groups and these conversations, because you get around these people that have already done that. And it's really, really cool when you're around the right people. So,
For sure.
Don, any thoughts on that?
I feel like me and Susie was actually talking about this the other day. Teachers are definitely underpaid. So Ms. Jamie, I'm with you. I'm rooting for you, but I agree with Jesse. You got to do it the right way and don't get pressured with the outside noise. Sometimes a lot of people, you do got to make, like for me, for example, I'm going to just use my story. I was forced into real estate. I lost my job. I wasn't good with money. I didn't have any savings. And my wife had to pick up a second job just so we could survive. And it was rough. I wouldn't want other people to go through that because it is a hard time. So plan properly, make sure you have the savings and to truly invest in yourself. Because once you go in, you're going all the way in, no turning back.
I'm with you on that, man. You got to go full freaking fledged, full send. Right?
Yes, sir. Yep. And let's do one more question and we'll hop onto these Facebook posts and then we'll be out of here. Really quick for the newer folks in real estate. We keep mentioning Rafa. Rafa is an OG. He's the one who paved the way. Arbitrage king is what we call him. And essentially, if you think about it, he's kind of like the reason why we got reverse arbitrage going on. Like he sparked it and now people are getting creative. So kudos to you, Rafa. Respect to you. Thanks for what you do, man. Let's get to this last question, then we'll hop into the Facebook posts. When reverse arbitraging, how does your process work? Do you agree to reverse arbitrage only after the tenant says they want the unit? How we're thinking. Yeah.
Let's stop right there. Let's take these in chunks so it's like digestible for everybody.
Gotcha.
What this means. If not, they're going to be like, well, wait, where are we at here right now? So reverse arbitrage. You want to explain that real quick, Don?
Yeah. So in short form, reverse arbitrage is when you have a client, you have a renter that's ready to go, and you don't have a property. So we look for another property, a furnished rental that's ready to go, and we rent that out from, so I'm going to rent Jesse's property in Modesto because I don't have a property out there, but I do have a claim. Jesse's going to say, yes, done. Give me this rate, and you can rent it out to your clients. That's reverse arbitrage, subleasing it to your clients.
Yeah. So say real quick, just so to give a little more context to this, if I have a unit listed at $2,500 on Furnish Finder, I'm going to reach out to Dunn and say, hey, I want to rent your place, or he's got a place rented for $2,500. I'm going to ask for his rental price, whatever he's asking for a month. Now, I might have another somebody looking for a property now. So let's just say an insurance temporary housing company, they're needing a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. I'm going to connect with Dunn and be like, hey, I want to rent your place for $2,500, the same way you have it listed on the platform. I have a client that's going to be staying here. I'm not going to be telling them how much I'm going to be renting their property for. It doesn't matter. I just want to make sure that he's okay with the $2,500 that I'm giving him. And then I got to let him know that I'm going to be re-subleasing that property back out to the other person, which is the corporate housing company, right? So I get the property from Dunn. I rent it for $2,500. The family comes and checks it out and says, dude, I want this place. It looks freaking dope. And then I go back to the company and say they love it. They want to do it. $7,000. I rent that place from Dunn for 3 months for $2,500, which is a total of $7,500. whatever that is. I think I just screwed up on the math. But anyway, what I'm doing afterwards now, I'm renting that property for $7,000 a month for 3 months. So that's $21,000. So my spread in that property there is pretty freaking massive. And I am actually taking care of the client, which is done because he wants $2,500 a month. That's it. Like he just wants, that's the amount he wants. There's no cheese added on top. I am now relinquishing the control that he has of that property to me. And then I am now subleasing that to the company. You get where I'm going with that? You guys following? I just want to make sure that you guys get that. So do you agree to reverse arbitrage only after the tenant after they want the unit? Yes. You would not want to ever reverse anything without anybody saying yes, because now you're freaking stuck. Keep in mind, we just talked about contractual agreements. I'm putting agreement with Dunn already. It's like, you're going to have my place for 3 months. And then if I can't back out of that now. So what if that client doesn't like that property? Then what? So you got to be really, really thoughtful on that. Anyway, that's the answer there, Nick.
Let me give him a quick sequence on that one. Just a quick. So like claim comes in, you look for a home. I find Jesse, his home is available. Jesse says yes. I don't go into a rental contract with Jesse just yet. I need approval of the allowance of the rental budget, money in the bank. I sign a rental contract between me and my tenant. And as soon as I have the cash in the bank, then I get into contract with Jesse. I do the background checks as well, obviously, part of that process. Don't do anything without money and background checks.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Yeah, and then let's go into the next part of this question here, Don. How we're thinking about it might be wrong. Tenant says they have the property and they want to move forward. Contract number 1 is signed with agreement between you and the guest. Contract 2 is signed with you and the owner as the renter. Insurance pays you the rental amount. You pay the rent at the home and your margin is made. Yep, that's exactly it. That's exactly the premise. Now, there's a lot of nuances in between. Again, this is not a cash grab kind of situation. You have to be thinking about this as a business owner, having longevity, not a one and done deal. This is where, if you're doing this the wrong way, you can screw it up for every single other person on the planet. This is why I don't even like talking about this very much, because a lot of people are getting into this space wanting to do this, but they're seeing it as a quick money grab. Anything sustainable, worth time, isn't going to be that. You have to be very thoughtful on building relationships, putting your clients first, going back exactly how Nikki said Dunn's a good person. Dunn is a good person, and because why he cares about the clients, he's actually staying in the property. They lost their home due to a fire, a flood. Like some of these folks have had crazy situations. They've lost family, loved ones in a fire, pets. Like these are like serious circumstances. So I'm encouraging everybody now, like, yes, it's a way to make money. Yes, it's a way to do things, but you have to be thinking about the client. You have to be thinking about the homeowner that you're actually leasing the property from. And you have to make sure that you're thinking about this like a business where you're going to have longevity to it and not just a cash grab, because believe me, people can feel it. And I'm telling you guys this right now because I've watched it happen over and over and over again. And it could be a really negative situation if it's done the wrong way. And Nikki, I'm not saying that's you. I'm just saying, if everybody watching this right now, be very thoughtful when you get into this space, because you have to be extremely position. You have to position yourself as that lead generator. In fact, I would say have a landing page, have a business license already put together. Like you got to have those things put together, the basic business 101 stuff, to be structured in a way that's going to allow you to do these kinds of things. Because again, what if scenarios can happen, and they will happen. And if you don't have those things together, somebody sues you. They're not just going after your company, which is what an LLC is for, to protect you. They're going after everything that you own, which is your own stuff. So be very, very thoughtful. And I'm not trying to scare anybody into getting this. You just have to be very mindful about building something. I think it's going to be important to do that. Anyway, anything else on that I'm missing? No,
that's it. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Let's jump in.
You want to go ahead? Nikki says, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Yeah, no problem. And Jamie says she wants to learn from her first house and then grow it into business. It's the best way to do it. Learn and then grow. Dunn, you want to take maybe like one or two of these? I don't want to go too much longer on this call, but this is good. You guys are asking really good questions. These are exactly what the kind of stuff that we like to answer specifically for you guys here. But Dunn, go ahead, man. I'm gonna let you take this right here.
All righty, let's pull up some posts real quick. Let's see what we have here. This one is from Loy Heat. Loy Heat said, "Morning MTR community. Linens. Who else has trouble with keeping your white linens and bath towels long term?" I feel like I have to toss 10% of my white linens and towels after each guest. My cleaners and laundry service seems to not be able to get stains out. I have tried spraying with stain remover, but most times it does nothing. Has anyone overcome this challenge? I'm considering supplying my units with darker color bath towels to avoid the need to toss them, or most of you overlooking this issue and reusing them anyways. Any inputs?
Yeah, you got to go with white. Everything's got to be white so you can bleach it. That's my first thing. And then second thing, you got to make sure that you're buying. Go to Minoan, Minona, Mino. Am I saying that right? Mino. How do you spell
Yeah,
that freaking word?
Minoa. Freak.
You got two degenerates trying to figure out how to
You
spell.
got two high school dropouts over here trying to spell.
They're like, today, Junior. Hang on, let me look this up. There's a company called Minoan, Minoan.com. Let me look it up, you guys. I want to make sure this is right. There's another company called Host GPO. You gotta get industrial grade hotel type linens that are going to be able to absorb the type of wear and tear and use that people are going to get. If you're buying stuff from Target, Walmart, freaking IKEA, those things are going to get jacked. Priscilla just spelled it for us the right way in the chat box. Thanks, Priscilla. Minoan. Me and Dunn are just like, today, Junior. But Minoan, that company, you can get stuff wholesale at a discount price. You can get contract grade material, which is what you want to use. If you guys buying stuff from Target, Walmart, freaking IKEA, cheap stuff, but you're going to replace it over and over and over again. My other thing for Loy here is these are part of operational costs. You're going to have stuff that gets stained. You're going to have, that's just part of the game. 10% I think is probably pretty damn good if you ask me after every turn, especially if it's like a 3-month, 6-month term. So that's not that bad. You can also, if you wanted to, Dunn, is there anything else? I don't want to take this whole segment up.
No, that's pretty good. Just if it's darker towels, if you're gonna say, I started with darker towels, and the problem I always ran into with darker towels, it always had that like stain, like a bleach stain, even though we didn't use bleach on it. So it could be lotion, suntan lotion, whatever the case may be. So then we did transfer over to white linens, white towels. And yeah, man, bleach. That's it. That's really it. And I don't keep them too long anyways. I usually keep them 4 to 6 months, really. It really depends. But yeah, white, it's that simple.
Yep, got you. Good answer, man. I like that. Hopefully, Lloyd, that answers your question. Priscilla, thank you for spelling that for two guys that have no idea how to spell Minoan. Appreciate you.
All right, let's go to this one. This one's from Pam with a B in her first letter, last name. How do you all handle legal agreements and bookings on platforms? Example, I want an application prior to them booking so that I can do a background check. Turbo Tenant, Pam.
That's true. Yeah, Pam, Turbo Tenant is who I've used. I like their platform. Yes, I'm affiliated with them. I don't own the company or anything. I've just been using them for a long time. I love the way that they're able to integrate. Their stuff's user friendly. My team loves it. I can't say enough good things about them. Dunn, I think you use them too. I think most of us do. And keep in mind, there's a bunch of different companies that do lease agreements. They just happen to be the company that I resonate with the most, which is why I like to work with them, why I talk about them. I only talk about companies that I use, that I personally can vouch for, and they are one of them.
Yep.
Hopefully that answers your question.
Makes it easy. I'm not tech savvy. It's almost like a click of a button. Turbo Tenant makes it easy. So that's why I like it. Let's move on with the final one from Linda Allen. I wanted to share this because there might be some folks that could hit up Miss Linda Allen. Anyone in need of 2 early bird 2025 MTR Summit tickets? Sadly, I can't attend. Linda, we're sad, but we're grateful that you're sharing with the community. So you guys go find Linda Allen. Looks like she's trying to get rid of her tickets. But if not, if she already got rid of them,
yeah,
Jesse,
you're gonna have to want to email me at info@airventurehosting.com. I'll hook you guys up with a massive discount for tickets to the Midterm Rental Summit that is literally in like 3 freaking weeks. Actually, a month. It's 33 days away. In San Diego, like one of the best cities on the planet. Get your ticket there. Linda's got a couple for sale. Again, if you guys email info@airventureacademy or airventurehosting.com, I'm sorry, I will hook you guys up with people that just listened to this here today. Dunn, any final thoughts? Any last questions? Any last? First off, these are good questions that everybody had brought up today, which is freaking awesome. But what else? Any final thoughts? Any last ideas, Dunn? What's going on here, man?
Bet on yourself. Believe in the process, do the work, and bet on yourself, and just jump. I know there's too many people out there that still kind of should I not. Obviously, if you jump, it's not going to happen. There's work that's required. There's always work required. So commit to the work, but bet on yourself. That's what I would say.
100%. Like Jamie here, who's got the property already, she's trying to figure out what to do. Those are my favorite types of people because they have the unit already. Yep. And they're like, what am I going to do with this now? And I think that is a particular place of power that you actually have because you can do 50 different things. There's like 50 ways a Sunday to figure out how to make more money with your real estate. Be super intentional, be thoughtful, get around the right people. You guys are showing up to this live call, which is free, doesn't cost you anything. And that's exciting because you get to hear what people are doing. You get answers, you get to ask questions to us directly who've been in this game for a while. And I would encourage you guys to continue to think about that. Just like Don says, bet on yourself. I can't tell you now how important that actually is. Some of you may not have the resources, may not have the wherewithal. And I'm not saying you're dumb, but what I'm saying is like, you don't have the information yet, but you just got to get around the people that do. And I think as you start to understand, you start to feel what they're doing, you start to understand how they're doing it, it gets easier. And what it does for you is actually builds confidence. And that's where most people lose and they lack is consistency and confidence. It's hard to build it. And once you build it, it's easy to lose. And I'm just telling you guys the encouragement. I mean, we just talked about Rafa here earlier. Like he helped me leave my W-2 job. If I didn't have that dude in my life, I probably wouldn't have left my job. So again, be very thoughtful about who you're around, what kind of information you're absorbing. It's just super powerful. So I encourage you guys to, get around the right people. Done. I know I might be missing something, but you know what I'm saying.
That was gold. That's it.
Golden Goldie. Guys, we appreciate you guys for being here. We do this out of the graceness. Is graceness a word? The grace, what's the word I'm looking for now?
We do it from our servitude heart.
We're doing it out of our hearts. There you go.
That's not it, though. That wasn't it, though.
Yeah, we do this because graciousness. There you go, Christina. Dang it, I wish I graduated high school sometime. The graciousness of our hearts because we love this. I love watching people build stuff. It's freaking encourages me. It builds me up. It gives me energy, and I really love it. So keep doing this, you guys. You guys are showing up for yourselves. You made it to this thing. Go watch some other YouTube videos I've put out. Go watch other people's YouTube videos. Go out and get information from everybody, absorb it, and then start putting it to work. But Dunn and I appreciate you guys so much for showing up out of your busy days. And we'd love to see you in San Diego. So if you guys can, get out there. And we'll see you guys next week on Monday, as we do every other Monday. So peace out, y'all. You guys can watch the replay of this. If you missed it, it's going to be in the YouTube link here shortly. Appreciate you guys. Have a good rest of your day. Happy Monday. And get out there and do the stuff. Do the work.
Peace.
See you guys. Sick. That was good, bro.
Done recording?
Yeah.
Not live.
I don't think so. It says go live.